Welcome to the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. We have a super special guest this week. Most of our listeners would know him as the treasurer of the Hellfire Club on the 4th season of Netflix's Stranger Things, Grant Goodman.
Fill me up with a barrel full of monkeys, as I hate being bored, I hate being bored. Load me up cause I'm such a junkie, every day all I want is more. So entertain me right now. So entertain me right now.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Recording as we do every week here at Olympus Games in Mesa, Arizona for the weekly meeting of the Hellfire Club, which you probably know as the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. I'm Hayley and I'm here with my fellow junkies,
Shauna
and Alex.
And today we are thrilled to welcome our very special guest, Grant Goodman, who played the character of Freak on Stranger Things Season 4. Welcome to the podcast, Grant.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited. We are all huge fans of Stranger Things and couldn't be more thrilled to have you as a guest this week.
Thank you so much.
I was going to wear my Hellfire Club t-shirt, but then I thought that would, one, maybe be kind of cringy for you. But then I also remembered that you aren't actually going to be here.
It's an audio format, right?
One of us has a Hellfire t-shirt, though.
We all own them now, I
Right,
think.
yeah.
All right?
Yeah,
They
we've ordered
you
them.
got delivered?
Oh, mine got delivered.
Okay, cool.
Got the Funko Pops. We got the whole thing. So Grant, Stranger Things, obviously it's like the biggest thing in the world right now. Is it crazy just being a part of all of this madness? Or is it just like, you know, hasn't changed your day-to-day life all that much?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's been pretty surreal. Obviously my DMs are a madhouse. Going to bars is interesting, I would say. Yeah, I would say it's like, you know, yesterday I was washing my hands in the bathroom and someone like put their phone up next to me and I was like, can we at least walk out of the bathroom first?
Oh, wow. Tell me about your DMs, though. Like, who's in there? Who's sliding?
Wait, is
who's
Doja Cat sliding into your DMs?
No, not yet. Yeah, I mean, of course, like it's a lot of like, you know, rabid fans. I had someone try to like Instagram FaceTime me yesterday like 8 times. I have my notifications off, but I still like saw that like in the, you know, message portal.
Wow.
So like that was weird. I've definitely had a lot of people like just ask me like if I can do a fan meetup in like a certain city, and I was like, I don't know, like when I'll be in Toledo
Yeah.
or
Where are
whatever.
you right now? Where are you?
I'm in Atlanta right now.
Oh, Liddy.
Yeah, Atlanta, the hub of
ATL.
super secret special entertainment business things.
That are not Marvel related.
I mean,
Yeah.
So Stranger Things wasn't your first acting credit, though. So tell us a little bit about like when did you start acting and how did you first get into the business?
Sure. So I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I kind of just like tried all the different hobbies, and I, you know, threw out like 4 different kinds of shoes, you know, hated soccer, hated baseball, didn't care for glass blowing, wasn't into pottery. I was hip hop dance was fine.
Heck yeah.
Anyway, so I finally a family friend who was involved with a like local theater production of Robin Hood approached me and was like, they were doing like a, you know, medium tier professional Robin Hood, and they were like, would Grant want to be Friar Tuck? And being Jewish, I went, oh, Friar, like I love mozzarella sticks. Like I would love to be a friar.
Well, now I'm hungry.
Yeah, I did that. I was Friar Tuck. He was not deep frying anything. Anyway, and so I was like, wow, I really like working in teams. I'm kidding. I like attention. So I was like, okay,
Same.
great. My parents tell this story that I was watching the Kids' Choice Awards and I was like, I want one of them. I distinctly do not remember that. I don't know if it's like the, you know.
Nickelodeon is the only, they're the only network that does the Kids' Choice Awards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They get the orange
So my
blimp.
parents said, I was like, I want one of those. I don't know if that's a cute story they tell, but they assure me that it happened. So yeah, I wound up, was like, you know, I enjoyed theater, but I was like, I enjoy this, you know, vibe, I would say. And so I like slowly started taking on-camera acting classes and, you know, was slowly referred to an agent. and I auditioned for a commercial for like a Mississippi electricity company that was shooting in Austin. I read for The Blind Side, which I think was like my second audition ever, was to play SJ. I remember like the scene with the ketchup and the mustard, like which was my audition scene. I remember my dad was so excited, like he could finally teach me something about sports. Because I couldn't care less, and I was like, okay, great. So yeah, that was like my second audition ever. I was like auditioned for Ted, but I would say like 10, 15 auditions later, maybe I booked this movie called Super with James Gunn and Rainn Wilson, and Elliot Page, Kevin Bacon, quite an interesting cast. It was shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana. It was like an IFC small budget film.
I Netflix and chilled to that movie.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. I played Rainn Wilson as a child in flashback scenes where he gets peed on, and I, had hopefully fake pee running down my face, and I'm like, sorry, Dad, I'm never playing baseball.
Wait. Wait. You said hopefully?
Think fake pee is my version of like a runner's high.
Tell me, you were saying hopefully. Is it because it smelled close to pee? Like, are you unsure that this is?
I don't know. I mean, we were filming in a warehouse in Shreveport. Like some of the odors were indistinguishable from one another.
You just never know how things go down in Louisiana.
But yeah, so I wound up doing that, and then from there I was in did This Must Be the Place with Sean Penn. I was in Playing for Keeps, which I was cut out of. Some may say I wasn't cut out of enough of it. Yeah, so I guess the campaign was like my big childhood claim to fame. That was when I was like 11 years old. Like I, took a couple of months off of school.
You look so cute in the pictures.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so there was that, and then I was in an Adult Swim show called Tropical Cocktails, which the Boston Globe described as Tim Burton had a miscarriage.
Ooh, that is incredible. That's an amazing way to describe something.
Yeah, I laughed. So I did that, and then I auditioned for Stranger Things, and I heard back. I think it was the very next day with an offer.
Wow. So at what point did you audition? Or because we know obviously there was this huge long hiatus because of COVID. Like, were you auditioning in the middle of the pandemic?
So I pretty much read for it, I think like a week before, and then I booked it. And my first day was supposed to be like the first Friday of filming. And then I had like a fitting on Wednesday, and we got a 2-week postponement, which just dated into a 9-month postponement.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah,
it was a pretty quick turnaround. The casting directors were affiliated with the Adult Swim show I had done, so they were familiar with my work. And so I mean, what an honor. It was pretty crazy.
That's so cool. Were you fan of Stranger Things? Like, had you watched it?
I actually had not. I definitely like get around to watching more films. I would say comedy is like more of my wheelhouse. I have a mild interest in sci-fi, but I would say that wasn't something I was like immediately drawn to. So I hadn't really had a chance to see it. I wound up watching it like the September after I wrapped, but it was funny. Like people kept referencing stuff, and I was like, mm-hmm,
sure, yeah.
I was like, sure, like what's a demigod or whatever.
You're like coming in and filming this kind of in this character, but totally oblivious to kind of the world in which you're stepping into.
Yeah, for me, it was like I really didn't want my performance to reflect the performances of others, like which you can see. Like I feel like personally, humbly, I distinguished myself, I would say, like within the cast, just because like I interpreted this script and kind of just like developed who I thought this character would be, and kind of like how it was like kind of a different kind of angle from like a lot of the characters of the show. So yeah, I like hadn't seen it, and just was like, let me, make my world on this off of this page, and that's what I had done.
I would say that's very committed of you as an actor not to be part of this Stranger Things world, because in your role, I mean, you don't really know what's actually going on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it might have even helped.
Yeah, certainly. I would say like, and I of course had intended to catch up on the show, and that way like I would have some surprises for myself, just like I tried to like minimize like what kind of, upcoming information. I basically tried to like avoid as many spoilers as I could. Although like saying see you next year or see you around at the, rap party was different.
No, you won't. Bye. Tell us more about Freak. Like, who is he? How did he get that name, you think?
Yeah, so I read for Gareth, who gets thrown through the drum set. That was my audition scene. And I feel like they wanted, this character was kind of more nuanced, and like a lot of it was like heavily expressions more than line delivery. And I felt like that was something that like I think I exhibited like a capacity to do a character like that within my audition for Gareth. And like all the members of the Hellfire Club were like it was such a great group, and everyone was like so talented, and we all kind of brought like our own dynamics. We kind of were just like the perfect formula for like this friend group. And I kind of thought that like was my role within the friend group.
Nice. Have you ever played D&D in real life?
I had not, no. We had like a consultant come, I think. We had a music consultant too for the guitar scene. So that was interesting. I didn't really know what was going on. Some people had looked, had, I guess, read into it more than I had. But yeah, it was interesting. It was, I guess, a quick learn. I still don't know anything about the game much, but I know more than the average person.
It's so convoluted. I play D&D with my friends, and then sometimes people will throw things out, and I'm like, I'm just kind of here to like pretend to be a dragon and drink, you guys. Like, I don't know. It gets super intense.
I would just be there to drink. All right, so you've done theater and you've done film. So what's the difference, especially when it comes to like character development? I'm asking as a nerd. Like what?
Sure.
Yeah. What sort of? Yeah.
I only did theater very, very briefly, but I've always thought like it was kind of rugby and football, I guess, which somehow I'm making a sports reference. I would say like a lot of the skills you need are the same, but like a lot of the like way you utilize the skills are quite different. I know like a lot of people have been abject failures transitioning from film into theater. So I would say I am not necessarily an expert in theater. I really haven't done it in years, since middle school. It was never really like exactly my craft. But I do, of course, I love watching plays, certainly.
So it's like, being a quarterback and trying to decide whether you want to throw it to your tight end or to your wide receiver, depending on their skill.
We said no sports references, Alex.
Hopefully the audience knows what you're talking about.
People listening to a Stranger Things episode are like, this has way too much sports.
Too many sports.
So for your audition, and then once you book it and you get to, become this character, how much like preparation do you do, or like, kind of getting into the headspace of like being this guy where you're kind of part of this ensemble? Like how much work goes into prepping? Like, do you develop a backstory for this guy, or are you just kind of like, I'm going to just roll in and take what's written on the page?
Yeah, weirdly enough, I tend to like focus on not learning the lines. Like I usually like to say like, as long as you get like the message, meaning, and magic across. Like I've definitely always focused on that. I like my, I always say like half-assed my way to victory. It seemed to work. Like that way I don't look like I'm looking in the back of my head for the next line, and kind of just can like, people conversationally say things like, and like, and what, and I definitely like when I was reading the lines, I paid attention to other people's lines and like really like kind of just like practiced like which muscles to use to like really get an expression down. And I would say like that was definitely like the most effort I exerted was into, the reactions. And then, yeah, I mean, delivery is of course important, but I would say like a lot of people can deliver lines.
That's interesting. Cause like when I'm thinking about just like theater, cause I like theater. I do theater. I've done theater, I guess. And when I'm thinking about like film, like, you're talking about focusing more on the muscles of the, like your facial expressions in the emotion, as opposed to like what the line is, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, my character was like, I guess, kind of, had more interjections than thoughtful things to say. So like, I really had to make them memorable. Mm-hmm. So And there were, of course, like a lot of my reactions were just chosen. Like they kept cutting to my face, which was such an honor.
They really did. It's amazing.
Yeah, the editors came up to me at the premiere. They were like, "We've watched this episode like 300 times, and like your face is like our favorite part." Which was
That's awesome.
such
You
an
have a great
honor.
face. I'm looking at it right now, and you're just like, oh.
That's a good face.
No, it's
It is.
great.
It's great.
Thank
It's
you.
on your Instagram. 287 million hours streamed. That's exactly the face.
Yeah, we just crossed 1 billion, so
Oh, man.
Nice.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, we got to give a shout out to, like you mentioned, the editors, the whole creative team behind Stranger Things, 13 Emmy nominations, just incredible. What was your favorite part of being on set or being, just being part of this whole experience?
I would say, like, really hadn't had a chance to work with people of similar age to me, so it was actually pretty cool making friends, I would say. Like, I mean, it's, quite an honor. I've worked with, like, quite a few distinguished adults, but they are 45, they're not sending me tweets.
Their meme game's not on point.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course, like, I've been so privileged to, like, look up to some of these people and, like, work alongside them and have them as scene partners. But to, like, have people I can, like, regularly text after work was certainly, like, such a part of the show that I've, like, truly treasured.
That's awesome.
Were you similar to Freak at all in high school, you think?
I had expressive reactions, I would say, is about it. Yeah.
But you wouldn't have
That about
joined the
covers
Hellfire
it.
Club, yeah.
I gotta say, I'm still scrolling through your Instagram, and you got some serious dance moves in here. There's one post where you're just really, jigging it.
Yeah, jiggy with it.
I think you're about to.
Right. Yeah,
twerk
that was at the
one
premiere. We were having a lot of fun. Yes. About right
no,
after
like-
the clip ends, the security people were like, "You do need some water?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I never wear pants."
Okay, I gotta ask, since you're part of the Hellfire Club, what is your hot take on Eddie Munson? Like, did you think he was gonna take over the world the way that he has? Like, the world is going
Everyone's
crazy for him.
obsessed
Justice
about
for
Eddie Munson.
Yeah.
I actually didn't ask Joe Quinn. Like, again, I wanted to watch the show for myself. I didn't ask what his scenes were outside of what I was involved with. So I actually didn't know what to expect.
Cool.
I was at the point where I was watching the season alongside everyone, and he could have been a villain. He could have been anything.
Mm-hmm.
Where I didn't know what was next. Electively, but yeah, I mean, he's so great.
So, what was your experience watching it? Like, have you watched the most recent?
Yeah,
season?
so
Okay.
I watched each volume in a single sitting. Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. I got together with a lot of my friends from high school, and they had a viewing party and stuff. So that was awesome. But yeah, Joe Quinn is just so incredible. What I could tell is I was like, this guy is going to be the next big thing. Like I saw that from a million miles away. I was like, he's fantastic. He's such a great guy too. I had a layover in London for 36 hours, and he sent me a multi-paragraph detailed itinerary, which was so considerate.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Is that where he is in London?
He's
Yeah,
based in London. I think,
he's
yeah.
British. Yeah, I'm going back to London in September, and then I'll be in Liverpool in November, and I'm gonna try to get together with him or Charlie or someone.
Oh, that's right. Charlie is English too, huh?
As long as you're raising the roof and twerking like you are.
And
I have seen some video going viral the past couple days of Joseph just how kind he seems with his fans and genuinely pleased to be there. So that's always nice to see from people who are blowing up.
He's so great. I can't even begin. He's such a great guy. He deserves all the success that's came to him and is coming to him. I'm super thrilled, and it was such a privilege to work with him.
I want to talk a little bit about this next show that you have coming up on Netflix called Mo. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. So it's an A24 series on Netflix. It's set in Houston. Mo Amer is the lead, and then Teresa Ruiz is the other lead in that. She's from Narcos Mexico, and she was my scene partner. She's fantastic. It's set in Houston, where I grew up and where he also grew up. And I am very excited. I am a guest star in the second episode. but yeah, it's pretty cool. Like Houston's film industry, like was pretty much Rushmore, I would say. So it was pretty weird. Like they filmed at like my city hall that I'm like, grew up 4 blocks from for like 2 weeks. And they filmed like all over town and like a bunch of restaurants I went to. Like, so yeah, that was super cool. Like taking the street my high school is off of to work was like a little interesting. But yeah, this show's super exciting. A24 hasn't done much television, so this is like so exciting.
That sounds cool.
And yeah, I mean, they just have like such a magic touch, and that's coming to Netflix on August 24th.
Very cool.
Nice. Yeah, very soon.
What's like, all right, so you've worked in Stranger Things, you've done G.I. Joe, you did the campaign. Like, what is the different styles in terms of just like doing different genres even? Like, do you find yourself gravitating towards one more than the other? Like, whether it be sort of like sci-fi or comedy?
I have a strong preference for comedy, largely because it comes naturally to me. Mm-hmm. And even in things like G.I. Joe or Stranger Things, I tend to be comedic relief. Mm-hmm. I do feel like I, am experienced enough where I could handle like all kinds of different kinds of work. So I certainly would like to have a broad, diverse career. But yeah, I would say like the characters, like I kind of just keep bringing Grant onto these sets. But I do think I could certainly diversify into different kinds of roles. I've done a lot of auditions for like all kinds of terrible people and sad people, and a lot of them turn out really well. And I mean, I would happily portray any kind of character. I think it'd be fun to change it up and be someone angry or be a bully or someone who is bullied or something like that would be just like such an interesting realm.
Out of those characters, do you find yourself connecting more to one of them?
Not necessarily. I would definitely say like there's obviously like a semblance of me in every character I bring to the screen. But I definitely would say like I don't necessarily like get home from work and I'm like that guy for a while.
Gonna be Chucky for the rest of the day.
What was it like to work with, because you've worked with a number of different directors and stuff, what was it like to work with the Duffer Brothers? You got to work with the Duffers and Sean Levy, right?
Yeah, I mean, what a privilege. It was pretty cool working with identical twins while they're wearing masks. So I kept being like, oh, hey, boss.
And other boss. You.
Yeah, and then Sean's like such a visionary. I mean, he's our showrunner. And like he's like the nicest guy ever. He was very, effusive with compliments at the premiere, which was like so touching. And yeah, he's the best. And yeah, the Duffers are great too. Like they're have this. I mean, they've brought like something so mystical and magical to so many people, like to the world. And like yeah, it's just like such an enormous privilege to work with all three of them.
The Duffer Brothers just announced that they're going to have, a production company, or they're expanding the universe. So that's kind of exciting. Yeah. I think they're going to have a Stranger Things spinoff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I'll go see the play. I'll go watch the spinoff.
Yeah.
I would happily be involved. I know they have like some kind of deal with Steven Spielberg too, which is super interesting.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Let's just start spreading the rumor right now.
Yes. You heard it first, folks.
That somehow, because I'm looking ahead to season 5, and you're still alive. You made it out unscathed. At least we think. We don't know. Maybe you're buried in the library.
It's somewhere. Like he could have fell in the crack or something.
But we think you're alive. So let's just start spreading the fan theory right now that the Hellfire Club is going to return in season 5.
Yeah, I would certainly hope so. It was funny. I like the photos that Jason burns of us in episode 5, and then the photos of us that are distributed in the town hall in episode 6. Mm-hmm. We actually those photos were taken for episode 2. So I didn't expect to see myself in episodes 5 and 6, which is cool because now I'm on the cast list and stuff for that. So nice. Now if an agent ever wants to call me back, they can see that I was literally in 5 episodes.
My image was portrayed.
Yeah, but it was nice, not seeing myself in episode 9 on the missing persons wall. That was certainly an honor. I was like, oh, maybe my photo will pop up again. And then I was like, whew, not then.
Maybe you get to swing an axe or something next season. That'd be kind of sick. Swing a guitar at a Demogorgon.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly love to be promoted, if you will.
I mean, that's what Dustin promised to look after the sheep, right? That's the idea. So I think he's going to have to bring the Hellfire Club alongside. They're going to need all hands on deck fighting Vecna. So
yeah, of course. I mean, that would be incredible.
So once you went back and you binged the show, what has been your favorite moment, aside from the ones featuring you, over the 4 seasons?
I definitely thought the shopping mall set was so cool. And a rumor has it, or according to the internet, I didn't talk to accounting, that they spent like $80 million or something, like rebuilding that shopping mall. That was the figure I saw online, but the figure online also says my net worth is $50 million. So who knows?
It's at least 80, right?
Don't believe everything on the internet.
Unreal. Like there's like a bunch of like spam websites that like speculate how much I weigh.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, okay. That's flattering.
Look what this child star grew up to be.
Yeah. Anyway, so I definitely thought like the underground shopping mall set was like so cool, and like just like the lighting and stuff, and the way like obviously like the giant monster just like goes through the glass ceiling, and the way they like built out like the Gap and Auntie Anne's and all the like retro different stores they built in the mall were like so like precise and craftful. It was wonderful. Like that thoroughly impressed me. I kept telling people like, you know, you got to watch season 3 too. And you got to watch 1 and 2 and certainly 3.
Are you a fan of 80s music? Is that kind of your vibe?
I have like such an interesting sense. I mean, I have a very, very wide, like I listen to everything from Billy Joel to Daughtry to Migos.
Love it.
And sometimes K-pop and Jason Aldean sneak their way in there too.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't say like I have like a explicitly retro sense of music, but I mean, there's certainly, I have my like Spotify top 100 is like a war crime like every year.
Same. It's just nonsense.
Yeah. It's like, I'm worried like the Alvin and the Chipmunks cover of Uptown Funk will make it on there this year because I keep playing it as a joke when like I pick people up.
I'm for that, honestly. It's not even out yet.
You just start liking it after the 100th listen.
Is it out? Can I hear it? Can I listen to it right now?
You know what? Why don't you do that on your drive home?
Do that on your own time.
I'm sure Running Up That Hill is going to be on everybody's top 100 Spotify this year.
Yeah, that song's actually fantastic, and I haven't stopped listening to it either. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know it would have the explosion that it did, but yeah, what a great song. It's like so exciting, like how many people have succeeded alongside us. Just like, that's just like the power of Stranger Things.
It is incredible. And it's so funny now, like just people becoming fans of, you know, 80s culture and things that they didn't grow up with. Like I've seen young people tweeting like, this Metallica band is kind of cool. Just like, I'm here for it. And the fact that Metallica like stopped people from gatekeeping. They're like, whether you've been a fan for 40 years or 40 minutes, like you are welcome in the Metallica family.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I kept like just messing with the costume people, and I was like, oh, like, have you seen my Iron Mistress shirt? Like I just kept making jokes about how young I was.
Oh my God. And they're just like, shut up.
They're like, you know what Iron Maiden is? I was like, yeah, whatever.
Well, that's like any time, because I'm that type of fan that I get so immersed in a series or something that I'll forget for a moment that the people are not actually living in the 80s, you know? And so I'll go watch an interview with like Maya Hawke, and she's like, I don't know, you know, what a Walkman is. And I'm like, girl, your dad is Ethan Hawke. Come on. Like, you need to know these things about the 80s. But then I remember, like, y'all were born a minute ago.
They're like younger than us. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
I was born in the 80s. So I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it's crazy. So her mom was in Playing for Keeps with me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd worked with her mom like forever ago, and then we meet, and she like vaguely remembered me, which was impressive. And yeah, we're like so similar in age. She's so great. But yeah, so is Uma Thurman, like, was definitely one of the first people. Like, I was like 10 years old when we did this movie, And she was like the first person I like encountered professionally that like treated me like an adult.
Aww.
I can see.
Yeah,
that,
which was great. Like she's incredible. Like everything, she has the touch of gold. Like everything she's in is just fantastic. And yeah, now like working alongside her daughter is like very full circle. What a great honor.
That's so cool. Okay, so if fan theory rumor starting right now,
We're manifesting it.
Manifesting season 5 Hellfire Club returns. Who would you love to be able to share a scene with that you didn't get to in season 4?
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess there were quite a lot of those people. I mean, Charlie's so great. It would be super cool to have a scene with Jonathan Byers or Winona. I mean, she's incredible. Yeah. I mean, anyone. I didn't have a scene with 11 either. I mean, everyone would be an exciting new scene partner with like how accomplished and talented everyone is.
I feel like it has to have kind of like an Avengers in-game vibe where every single character kind of meets in the middle of Hawkins and is armed to the teeth.
I kind of see that now.
Yeah.
In the end, because in Stranger Things season 4, like it finally happened. Like now, how do people hide the fact that there's this,
the truth is out. Everyone kind of sees what's going down.
That's the irony, though, is that as it showed on the news or whatever, they're like, it's hell seeping into whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
And which is the closest thing to the truth that they've got. Right. And then they're like, oh, no, it's the satanic panic, whatever.
I feel like season 5 might be more about Hawkins, like the town fighting back.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, half of Hawkins left. So
yeah, they pieced out.
It's like a mass exodus.
Reason. That's even more reason why everybody
except Freak in the Hellfire Club. They're holding it down.
Yep.
And they're
Surfer Boy Pizza.
Experienced. That's what I'm saying. They're experienced fighting, demons. So they're ready to roll. Them and then Argyle's gonna pass out some weed and everyone will be content.
Everyone will forget about hell on earth because they're just going to be so high in eating so much pizza.
That's ridiculous. Manifesting it. We'll write a letter to the Duffers. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. We are here with our special guest, Grant Goodman from Stranger Things. Grant, we talked a little bit about your love of film and what it was like working with the Duffer Brothers and Sean Levy. I gotta ask, who are some of your favorite directors? Like when you talk about geeking out about film, who are those directors that you look up to, idolize, like would, dream about working with one day?
Yeah, I definitely love Edgar Wright and Jason Reitman, which are, I mean, I guess some younger picks, which is exciting. I definitely think like there's they're not necessarily the voice of my generation, but certainly of theirs. Like Up in the Air, Thank You for Smoking, Baby Driver, like they're both so great. I really like Matthew Vaughn movies. I don't know. I just have a soft spot. Action comedies, I guess, like my guilty pleasure, I would say. Like I, love movies like that. Get Smart and Kingsman, and they're all like fantastic. Yeah, I would say any director that would put me in a movie alongside Jim Carrey, I would like to work for too. So.
Oh man, that'd be incredible.
Yeah.
A buddy cop movie. It's happening.
Yeah, I would love. It would be such an honor to be the fat guy on the computer.
I'm like going back to Jurassic Park. Like, you could get eaten off a toilet.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's my follow-up question is who are your favorite actors that you would love to work with?
Yeah, I mean, Jim Carrey's amazing. He's like certainly like probably my top choice. Yeah, it'd be great to work with Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, of course. Let's see.
So like comedians.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of like dramatic actors. Like, I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis retired, but like that would have been incredible.
Oh yeah.
I mean, well, that's the thing with like Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey has such range, I feel.
Yeah, like I even like Mr. Popper's Penguins. Like he just brings everything to life.
That movie is highly underrated. Listen. So what did you grow up watching? What was your big fandom growing up? Were you a Pokemon guy? Like, what do you watch after school?
Yeah, like my childhood favorites were like, I was super into Phineas and Ferb, still am. Lifelong Family Guy watcher, no matter how miserable it is nowadays. I'm kidding. It's still pretty great. Yeah, Seth MacFarlane. I guess I should have mentioned him too. I've always wanted to work with him in any capacity. I think he's brilliant. He's like a, septuple threat
Yeah, he's kind of a genius.
He really is.
Yeah, he's actually, I mean, he does opera and he writes movies and he made Ted and Family Guy and American Dad and even The Orville. And yeah, I mean, he's incredible. Definitely liked Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was like a big thing for me. I started watching like adult stuff pretty quickly. I love Seinfeld. On a geekier side, Eureka is probably like my favorite.
Oh, I freaking love Eureka.
Yes, I
so
watched
much.
that. Didn't
Eureka
you?
is incredible.
Watch that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was really into Eureka.
That was like definitely like the first like show that like really impressed me. I don't know. Yeah, I would say things like that.
Well, it's so funny you talk about Phineas and Ferb and like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody because that stuff is like that was after my time, but now I've got an 8-year-old daughter and like that's the stuff that she's now thanks to streaming, like that's the stuff she's going back and watching and getting into. And so it's so funny because I think about when I was a kid and like I would watch Happy Days and Three's Company.
You're not that old.
But no, but because that was stuff that was like before my time, but it would play in reruns in the morning.
Nick at Night and stuff.
Nick at Night, yeah. And so now it's like we don't have the syndicated shows in the morning and Nick at Night. Now kids are just finding stuff on streaming and they're still going back and watching stuff from like a generation before them. You
Keenan
know?
and Kel and what's it called? They're on
All that, yeah.
They're on Netflix now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Like I watched like some of the slightly older stuff like Phil of the Future and even Stevens. And I would say I also like Wreck-It Ralph's like my favorite children's movie. I think it's so great.
I love Wreck-It Ralph. Both of them.
Yeah, and the second one's like somehow like arguably better. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
the second one.
That's a true statement.
It is good. It's because it's like it's very self-aware.
It's kind of meta, right?
It is a little meta, yeah. And like the sequence alone where Ralph is reading the comment section on the internet, like I feel like that is like every kid should have to watch that. Like my daughter's like, Mom, can I make a YouTube channel? And I'm like, no, and let's watch Ralph.
Absolutely not.
And we'll see why.
Grant, what are you watching right now? What are you binging on Netflix? Or Hulu, if that's your thing.
Or Amazon Prime. Or
He's
Apple-
contractually obligated to only watch Netflix.
Yeah, I just caught up on The Boys, of course.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm
man.
catching up on Hacks, which is great. I've been watching like quite a lot of Michael Mann movies and like some of the older stuff like that. Martin Brest movies I've been watching quite a bit recently. He's amazing too. Yeah, I don't know why. I've recently been watching action thrillers from the 80s.
Love it.
That's
That are
awesome.
super well done. Like Face Off's one of my favorite movies like ever.
Oh my God, I love Face Off.
Oh my gosh, I love Nicolas Cage so much.
Me and my friends in high school quote that all the time. I want you to take my face.
Yeah, I of course loved Everything Everywhere All at Once and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. They're both
Yes.
fantastic.
So good.
I've enjoyed quite a lot of those recently. Let's see. I guess I've been working a bunch. I haven't had a chance to watch much content.
That is a good problem to have.
Right.
I'm a teacher on summer vacation right now, so I have the exact opposite problem.
She's running low on
I can't find
content.
enough content. I started watching Virgin River, you guys, because I have nothing else to do.
Wow, well,
The Young and the
maybe
Restless.
you'll stumble upon Heart of Dixie.
Yeah,
Dude,
inevitable.
I love Rachel Bilson, so I saw that you were in Heart of Dixie. I got really excited.
She's ridiculously nice. We didn't have any scenes together. She came to set on her off day and was like, I heard you've been doing a great job. Like, I just wanted to come by and thank you for being part of the show.
That is so sweet.
It's so nice having you here. Like, we're, so happy for you. I mean, wow, she's incredible. Like, I'll never forget that. Like, that and some of my encounters with Uma Thurman were, like, so, like, reassuring and comforting and respectful.
That is so cool. I love hearing that about actors that I like and find out they're actually good, likable people. Yeah.
Especially because there's so many stories out there of the opposite.
Right.
So spill the tea. Tell us all your negative experiences. Just kidding.
Put them on blast, Grant. Just kidding. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I was in a movie that Harvey Weinstein produced in 2012.
Oh, you can put him on blast all you want.
Yeah. I had like 2 people ask if he was my grandfather. That's nice. We don't look alike, I promise.
So what else is coming up for you then, Grant? What else do you have on the horizon for you?
I was just asked to go to Liverpool Comic-Con like literally yesterday.
Oh,
for
that's
Stranger
so
Things.
cool.
So I guess like I got to firm that up, but I mean, that would be so awesome. Like there's quite literally nothing better than traveling internationally for work. So hopefully I get that firmed up. I've just been, I guess, reading for stuff. I wrote a movie and have, been going through the arduous process of trying to get that made. Riddle me that on how that's going. We have like meetings periodically and stuff. We have like some line producers who are great, and we have like a finance guy, but
awesome.
Who knows if that'll come together.
We're great at manifesting here at the Pop Culture Junkie podcast, so we're going to manifest that for you.
Yes.
Is it like an action comedy?
Yeah,
like is the
it's like a raunchy comedy. I would say Accepted is probably the movie it's been compared to the most.
I love Accepted.
Movie.
Me too. I mean, that's kind of been my raison d'etre, like since we finished writing it like 3 years ago. I've learned more about producing than I ever thought I would. Hopefully someone was so impressed by me in Stranger Things, they're like, let me make your passion project.
Yes.
Yeah, doubt that'll happen, but that'd be cool.
It's happening.
Manifesting. Manifesting.
Yeah, the first Pop Culture Junkie Productions debut film.
Oh, we're looking at the producers right now.
We're doing it.
Have you ever been to a Comic-Con before?
When I was filming the campaign, the New Orleans Comic-Con was like in the convention center below my hotel. So we actually had to walk through it like every day on my way out pretty much, or like almost everyone was staying there. I would say that's my most exposure I've had to Comic-Con, but no, I've never done that.
Oh, you're going to have so much fun.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. And like, I mean, if I was on the low level Comic-Con circuit indefinitely, like that would be thrilling. Like go to Germany and Japan and Kiribati or wherever would be, super exciting. Hopefully there's a Luxembourg Comic-Con or Greece.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so cool. Just all these amazing places. I'm sure there are.
Maui Comic-Con.
Yeah.
It just happens to be on the beach. So weird. With a drink in my hand.
Jamaica Comic-Con at Sandals Resort.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be, if I got to do those periodically, like that would be such an honor. And travel, like, it'd be, I heard Liverpool is like New Orleans. So that's cool.
Grant, we know you're a busy man. We have taken up too much of your time already. We are so grateful that you took time to be on our podcast with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, of course. I had a great time.
Before we go, can you tell everybody who wants to slide into your DMs? Just kidding. Can you tell everybody to not slide into your DMs, but where they can find you? Like if they want to find you on social media, where can they follow you?
Yeah, my Instagram is Grant S. Goodman. Grant Goodman asked me for $5,000 for that username, and I said, I only like Twitter, where I got Grant Goodman, at Grant Goodman.
Nailed it.
I would say those two. I don't TikTok. I would say I have a strong preference for Twitter. I have a Facebook fan page that I periodically remember to hit the share button whenever I see news articles or something. But yeah, I would say Grant S. Goodman on Instagram or Grant Goodman on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, we will give you a follow.
Grant's so
All
good,
right.
man.
Thank you.
And we will be manifesting your infinite success in the future. You can find us, the Pop Culture Junkies, on social media too. Shauna, where can they find you?
You can find me, Shauna Trinidad, at Shauna Trinidad, Shaunatrinidad, on also Instagram and Twitter.
And Alex?
I'm Alex, and I'm at ALCASNUN on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can find me, Hayley, currently fangirling over all things Stranger Things.
She really
on
is.
Instagram at 30 Nerdy Thriving. And of course, as always, you can find us on our website, popculturejunkie.com, on Facebook at the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast, on Twitter at Pop Junkies, and on Instagram at pop.culturejunkies. Be sure to tune in again next week for another hit of pop culture.
Pop Culture Junkie is a production of Pop Culture Entertainment.
So entertain